Hey everybody, welcome to the first ever episode of Talk Futsal. My name is Ryan Knapp and I'm the founder and director of Buffalo Futsal located in Buffalo, New York. I started to do Talk Futsal or came up with the idea because a lot of coaches in Buffalo were asking me specific questions about futsal, especially when I went to them and tried to get them to sign up for Buffalo Futsal Leagues. And I realized that there's not really much of an ongoing series on the web about futsal, so I decided to obviously start Talk Futsal. At the end of the program, I'll have my information. You guys can submit me questions, and I'll make sure to answer them on future episodes of the show. And also, as always, leave comments, concerns, questions, any sort of ideas. You can always leave them in the comment section, or you can email me, call me, get in touch with me, however you want. The inaugural episode comes basically from a question from one of the local coaches. It was a simple question, just asking about the positions and sort of the characteristics that the players should have when they're playing futsal. So with that, I decided to put together a futsal dry erase board. You can buy them. I don't know where, but I put one together myself. So if you want one, you can order one from me. But the basic positions in futsal are as follows. Futsal is 5-on-5, so obviously there's 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. But the goalkeeper can come as an outfield player, essentially an attack. But we'll cover that in episodes coming up. The basic 4 positions are your center back, a left wing, a right wing, and what's called a target, or would be traditionally your forward. But in futsal is referred to as a target. Also, the center back you might hear referred to as a pivot, depending on which country you're reading futsal information from. But it really varies country to country. The way they're set up like this, they're set up in a basic a 1-2-1 formation, and I'll go over formations later on in different episodes. But this is the basic formation just to see how they would be set up. The one thing to note in futsal right away is that positionality isn't really something that's too important because players are consistently rotating. Right wing might move up, target might move over. If the ball were to say be with the left wing and the center back would make a run through and people are moving around, all of a sudden who's your quote unquote center back is up playing, left wing, or now you're in a box or you're in a 2-2 formation. So players are constantly moving around in futsal. So to call someone a target or to call someone a center back, it's by name, and they do want to have certain characteristics, albeit few. But really, the important thing is that all players can play all positions because that's what will be happening constantly in futsal. Your center back, to kind of give some specifics, your center back you really want to have to be a playmaker, almost quarterbacking your offense, so to say. They're going to be the ones that's going to be distributing the ball a lot of the times. The goalkeeper as well, but a little less. Your center back's really going to be the one that's holding down the fort, so to say. Your target's definitely your goal scorer. Especially if you're playing like a 1-2-1 or now a 3-3 form or a 3-1 formation, you're going to be hitting it up to the target. They're going to be scoring lots of goals, or that's the plan. So you definitely want them to be a stronger player, to be able to play back to goal, to receive, and to either distribute the ball to the left wing or right wing if they have it, or to just turn and be able to shoot. And your left and the right wings, you obviously need to be, if they need to be both footed, they need to be able to shoot, pass, play with both feet. You obviously can have a right-footed player or left-footed player playing either wing. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. And they want to be speedy because they're going to be the ones that are definitely going back and forth up the field constantly. Whereas your center back and your target, if you're running a rotation, they will be rotating through, but you would like to have your target to stay up around midfield or a little bit closer so that they can help start the attack. With that, there's certain characteristics that all futsal players should have, including the goalkeeper. And I put my notes over here, so I'll pull back. All right, good. The first one is creativity. If you're watching futsal videos, if you're watching any sort of just pickup futsal, you always see people talking about creativity, and you see players being creative. And that's using, flicks, step overs, rainbows, Cruyff moves, Maradona, other moves that don't even have names that are just there. And that's all part of futsal. And you see that in, Google or look for videos for, the UEFA Futsal Cup or the, FIFA World Futsal Cup. And you're always going to see people doing these creative moves. It's part of the game. It's not showboating. It's just what it is. The second one for me is control. Players need to have control of the ball, but they also need to have control of their bodies. It's a little different than 11 on 11 where it's kind of sprint, walk, sprint, jog. Futsal is really, really quick sprint, move back, side to side, lateral movement, backpedaling, forward, spin. It's a lot of really, really quick movement. So players need to have a good control of their body. And that kind of goes into the next one, which is quickness. Quickness and control for me to go together. If you're really fast, but you have no control over how to move your body, how to plant, how to cut, how to stop, how to start, your quickness is really lost. But players have to be quick. They're expected to be quick on their feet. They're on the balls of their feet. They're not on their heels, and they're constantly moving around, and they're quick. And the good thing is with unlimited subs, with constant subs, you can just sub in and out if you're tired. So you can go quick for 2 minutes, like a hockey player, and then sub out for 3 minutes. And that's part of the game, and that's what keeps futsal so high paced, is that you're consistently subbing, and you're subbing on the fly, so players can give their all in 3 or 4 minutes, and they can go out and take a rest. One of the second most important thing for me is foot skill, and to be able to use both feet. I always want to say ambidextrous. That's obviously not, but to be able to use both feet. If you know a word for both feet, leave it in the comments because I've always looked. And to be able to use both feet equally, to be able to shoot, pass, distribute, spin. Some people can only spin one way, to the right or to the left. To be able to trap with the sole of your foot, the inside, the outside, and to be able to do all of that with both feet. Because in futsal, you don't have time to be able to set up to your right foot. You might have one touch and that's it. So you need to be able to use both feet to score or to get out of trouble or to just play the game and pass the ball. But the main thing for me in futsal as a player characteristic that I would look for from any one of these players is consistency. In futsal, the way that the game is designed, if you make constant errors, if you are giving the ball up in your own zone, if you keep being dispossessed, you will be punished, and you'll be punished with lots of goals. It's just a part of the game of futsal. The game is so fast paced that if you lapse for 2 or 3 minutes, you can easily get scored on 3 or 4 times. And I've seen it happen professionally, and I've seen it happen in leagues that we run for Buffalo Futsal and in tournaments I've been a part of. I've seen 4-goal leads evaporate like that. So players need to be consistent. And it's consistency not only with the way that they physically play the game, but they need to be mentally consistent as well. With if they have over 5 fouls, all of a sudden you're talking about the 6th foul, and it's essentially a free penalty kick from a little bit further away. So you need to be mentally cognizant of that as a player, and you need to be able to take that into consideration and stay mentally sharp. And when you have mental lapses is when you're going to have physical lapses. If you all of a sudden have a mental breakdown, you're going to give the ball up and you're probably going to be scored on. And consistency is especially important in your center back, your goalkeeper, is they're going to be the ones that'll have the ball last. And if your center back, if you're say attacking kind of full up, and your center back gives the ball up here, and all of a sudden it's a 2-on-1 coming back, you can't have that, and you're going to get scored on, probably 50% of the time with that. So you need to be consistent in knocking passes that have the right pace and have the right weight behind them, and players need to be consistent in receiving those passes and doing whatever they need to do with the ball at that time. And that's something that's really, really important. Because anyone can do a rainbow or a flick or whatever, but if you're not a consistent player, you're not consistently improving, you're not consistently playing, then you're not going to be a very good help to your team. And that for me is definitely the number one characteristic that I would have with any of these players on the field. Alright, that was the first ever episode of Futsal Talk, like I said. If you want to get in touch with me, you can email me. My email is Ryan, R-Y-A-N, at bflofutsal.com, or you can find me on Twitter, which is at Ryan Knapp, or you can come on our website and find more information and my phone number and be able to get in touch with me there. The website for Buffalo Futsal is www.bflofutsal.com. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section or get a hold of me, and I'll be happy to answer them on the next episodes. Alright guys, let me know what you think and keep playing futsal. Take care.